So about 5 days ago over on Reddit, somebody leaked a bunch of stuff supposedly about what's going on at Lucasfilm and the existence of a 4-hour version of the Rise of Skywalker. I don't think these are legit. I'm going to go over why. I believe this is somebody from Disney trying to stir up a positive movement for Rise of Skywalker, similar to what happened with the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut movement was a pretty big deal. Went on for a while, and I think that they're trying to replicate that now with the Abrams cut of Rise of Skywalker, and I don't think that that's going to quite work out. I actually think this story is going to die off very quickly, but it was a solid marketing attempt by Disney. It's actually very, this is kind of a decent way for them to try to stir people off of, or try to push people off of the Gina Carano stuff and a lot of the negative High Republic coverage that's going on right now. Maybe we can stir up this J.J. Abrams cut and kind of move away from the negativity a little bit and get people talking positive about Star Wars. That's what I see from this. And they can kind of squash some of the rumors of the civil war that's going on over at Lucasfilm, which I don't think it's a traditional. I think it's more of a clash of ideas, not a civil war. But anyway, they actually go over that in this. So the big one out of this, and this is why I think that this is some kind of positive spin from somebody inside Disney, or at least just like a hardcore Disney fan trying to stir attention away from stuff, push attention away from stuff, is this. In those Reddit leaks, it said that Jon Favreau and Kathleen Kennedy are actually on pleasant terms. They're great friends, the best of buddies. And she actually wants him to take over the role of executive president or whatever of Lucasfilm. And he's not sure if he wants to do that. So it's just, to me, it comes off as desperate. Like, everyone has been talking about how the fact that, he seems to know Star Wars better than Kathy. And apparently she's upset that he's being, really successful when it comes to Star Wars, and no one's thinking of her and nobody's appreciating her. A lot of the big rumors out there is that she's very, very petty. So it kind of makes sense. Here are the actual leaks right here. And they're quite extensive. I'm not going to go over all of these. It would take forever. And some people have already done videos on it. The TLDR here is they go over what's going on at Lucasfilm. This is the big one, which makes me think this is some kind of op. Say, regarding Lucasfilm, there's never been a cultural civil war at Lucasfilm. Nevertheless, a disagreement on what direction to take the franchise has always been a recurring problem. Certain members of the Lucasfilm Stories group, Pablo, desired to see Star Wars resemble a D&D campaign, less aesthetic, less narrative. Others, Favreau and Filoni, are pushed for a more traditional approach. There isn't some war between Kathy and Favreau. They are on rather pleasant terms. Kathy seems to want him to take over when she retires, is promoted. Favreau may or may not take the position. Filoni isn't interested, nor is he remotely qualified to run a film studio. He's much happier working on his own stories. Why isn't he qualified to run a studio? He's been working at one for a long time, particularly in Star Wars. I think he'd do a much better job than Kathleen Kennedy. So this is the big thing. And it kind of says to me, all right, let's squash this Civil War stuff. Here's another thing. Okay, this is on Star Wars Speculation, where you can just post. If this was a real leak, they would have posted on Star Wars Leaks, where they'd have to be verified, as somebody points out in the comments. At Star Wars Leaks, they would have to be verified because the mods there require verification. So they can just post this over here and no big deal, which I think a lot of people haven't really pointed out Like, you need to be verified over there to post something like this. So they came over here and spewed all this shit. So the other thing here is regarding the sequel trilogy, pretty much talks about things that we've already discovered, that it was a mess and there was no plan. And then down here is the big stuff. So they talk about the Abrams cut and all this stuff. Here's the thing. They mentioned Matt Smith, right? We already know about Matt Smith being in it. Like, a lot of this stuff that's here was already known. It was already known. So this is really nothing new. A lot of people have already talked about the stuff in here. It's just organized a little bit better with some newer information. I think this is fake because you already see some stuff like this. So check this out. You go over here from Inside the Magic, and they're talking about Star Wars fans are losing it over rumored Abrams cut. And it was trending for a little bit. I think this was just an attempt, which I think exists. I do think there's an Abrams cut of this movie that probably is about 3-4 hours long. There probably really is. The movie had a lot of reshoots. You could probably make it with some reshoots and some new visual effects. You could probably make an Abrams cut. You probably could. However, does anyone want a 4-hour version of Rise of Skywalker? The movie, and it's hard to sit here and say, okay, the movie sucked. And I think Justice League sucked as well. Right? But the Snyder Cut actually improved it and made it better. However, the Snyder Cut was full of charismatic people. Where it's like, does anyone want to watch 4 hours of Rey running around? Like, Rey's a terrible character. No matter what cut of the movie exists, she's always going to be a shitty character. So the leaks did whoever leaked all that got what they wanted, right? People are asking for a JJ cut of the movie. However, I don't think that this is going to get momentum quite like Snyder Cut. I don't see this getting any kind of momentum, actually. And the only people that would probably want this and push for it are the weird Raylos. The weird Raylos might do it, but they're too busy sending nasty stuff to Adam Driver's family to try to organize and get this put out. So I don't see this happening. I really don't see this happening. I see it fizzling out and going nowhere. But it did accomplish one thing. It got people talking about it, and a lot of the negativity surrounding the firing of Gina and the High Republic kind of calmed down for a couple of days, which I think was the true goal here. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.